Breaking news has left the nation in shock and mourning. Democratic Rep. Raul Grijalva of Arizona, a prominent figure in U.S. politics, has tragically passed away at the age of 77. His death has sent waves of sorrow across the political world and beyond, as people remembered his dedication to public service, his advocacy for the marginalized, and his deep commitment to his community. But what led to his sudden passing? What were the causes, the underlying factors that led to the loss of such an influential leader? Today, we dive deep into the possible reasons behind his death, shedding light on the health struggles and challenges that may have played a role in this tragic loss. Raul Grijalva, a name synonymous with environmental activism, social justice, and tireless advocacy for his constituents, had a long history in American politics. As a congressman, he represented Arizona's 3rd congressional district for over 2 decades. His legacy will undoubtedly live on in the many causes he championed. But what led to his untimely passing? Grijalva, who had been dealing with health issues in recent years, passed away surrounded by family and loved ones. While specific details of his death have not yet been made fully public, we know that his passing was not without warning. A closer look at his medical history reveals several health complications that may have played a significant role in his death. Rep. Grijalva had been known to struggle with several long-term health issues. In 2018, he underwent a surgery to address complications related to gallstones, and more recently, he had been dealing with high blood pressure, which is a concern for individuals as they age. High blood pressure, or hypertension, can lead to severe complications such as heart disease, strokes, and kidney failure, all of which can result in sudden death if not properly managed. It is known that Grijalva had also faced other health issues in the past, including respiratory problems and diabetes. These conditions, though manageable with proper care, can create a strain on the body, especially for someone in their late 70s. It's also worth noting that Grijalva was an advocate for healthcare reform. But ironically, even those who fight for healthcare reforms may not always have access to the best care or treatment options themselves. Beyond his physical health challenges, Grijalva had dedicated much of his life to public service, including pushing for affordable healthcare, climate change action, and the protection of Native American rights. This kind of high-stress work, fighting for the voiceless, can take a toll on one's mental and emotional well-being. Chronic stress, especially in the world of politics, can contribute to a weakened immune system and increase vulnerability to various health conditions. Studies show that stress can impact cardiovascular health, increase the risk of stroke, and even affect the body's ability to heal. For someone like Grijalva, who had been in the political arena for decades, this constant pressure could have compounded the underlying health issues. Grijalva's passing has brought forward important questions about the toll that public service can take on one's health. His career was marked by his relentless fight for social justice, workers' rights, and environmental protection. But it's important to remember that such work often comes with tremendous emotional and physical stress. Long-term stress can certainly contribute to a range of health problems. In individuals who are constantly in the public eye, such as politicians, that pressure can be overwhelming. It's a known fact that stress increases the risk of heart disease, stroke, and other cardiovascular issues. These conditions can go unnoticed until something major, like heart attack or stroke, occurs. As we await further details about the exact cause of Grijalva's death, it is clear that his passing highlights the complexities of aging health and the intense demands of a public life. While his legacy will undoubtedly live on through the countless lives he touched with his policies and advocacy, his death reminds us that even the most dedicated public servants are not immune to the physical and emotional toll of their work. Raul Grijalva's passing at the age of 77 marks the end of an era in American politics. His death has cast a shadow over many, especially those who look to him as a beacon of hope, determination, and integrity in a world that often feels politically divided. His legacy, built on years of dedication to public service, activism, and the fight for justice, will continue to resonate far beyond his time in office. Whether it was advocating for immigrant rights, leading efforts to combat climate change, or pushing for better healthcare for the underserved, Grijalva's influence will not easily fade from the hearts and minds of those who benefited from his leadership. Throughout his career, Grijalva was known as a fierce defender of social justice. He was a champion for the rights of marginalized communities, particularly immigrants, Native Americans, and people of color. His stance on immigration reform was clear. He believed in a humane and compassionate approach that would provide dignity and opportunity for those seeking better lives in the United States. Grijalva worked tirelessly to pass laws that would protect immigrant families from deportation and create pathways for citizenship. His advocacy was instrumental in elevating the conversation on immigration in a country that often grappled with divisive rhetoric and policies. In addition to his work on immigration, Grijalva was a stalwart leader in the House of Representatives, where he served for more than 2 decades. As a senior member of the House Natural Resources Committee, he was known for his environmental advocacy and his commitment to tackling climate change. Whether it was championing legislation to preserve national parks, safeguard public lands, or address the environmental impact of fossil fuels, Grijalva's dedication to the planet's future was unwavering. He often used his platform to call out corporate greed and government inaction, especially when it came to the degradation of natural resources and the disproportionate effects of environmental destruction on vulnerable communities. Grijalva's work to combat climate change was particularly noteworthy. He understood that climate change was not just an environmental issue, but also a public health and economic one. He advocated for policies that would reduce carbon emissions, transition to renewable energy sources, and protect the most vulnerable from the effects of a warming world. Grijalva was also a vocal proponent of the Green New Deal, an ambitious plan to create jobs, promote clean energy, and fight climate change on a national scale. His forward-thinking approach to these global issues earned him the respect of many environmental organizations and activists who recognize his ability to push for meaningful change, even in the face of political opposition. However, as we reflect on his remarkable career and the impact of his contributions, we must also acknowledge the personal sacrifices that Grijalva made in the pursuit of public service. In his later years, his health began to decline, and he faced a series of medical challenges that he struggled with quietly and with dignity. Throughout his life, Grijalva was known for his work ethic and commitment to his constituents, often putting the needs of others ahead of his own well-being. But in doing so, he, like many public servants, paid a heavy price: his health. The pressures of a long career in politics can be overwhelming, especially for someone who, like Grijalva, worked tirelessly for the betterment of society. Public service is a high-stress job that demands long hours, constant travel, and a relentless commitment to the issues at hand. Grijalva, who spent much of his life advocating for the most vulnerable, often took on more than his body could handle. Over the years, he faced numerous health struggles, including high blood pressure, respiratory issues, and the physical toll of the demanding lifestyle that came with his political career. These challenges, combined with the stress of being in the public eye, likely contributed to his declining health in his later years. It is important to recognize that the work Grijalva did often placed him in physically and emotionally taxing situations. The demands of representing a district in Arizona, which is home to a large immigrant population, and being at the forefront of contentious political battles, undoubtedly took their toll on his health. He was also a vocal advocate for Native American communities, fighting for their rights and for the preservation of their lands. His involvement in these causes was not just political, it was deeply personal. The emotional weight of such responsibilities, combined with the physical strain of maintaining a political career, likely played a role in his health issues. Grijalva's death serves as a reminder that even the most dedicated and selfless individuals can face health struggles. The pressures of leadership, the constant demands of public service, and the emotional and physical toll of fighting for justice can leave an indelible mark on one's health. For Grijalva, this meant that despite his passion and commitment to his work, his body began to show the wear and tear of decades of service. His death reminds us of the fragility of life, and that even the most resilient leaders are not immune to the effects of stress, age, and the human condition. As we remember Grijalva, we are reminded of the importance of self-care and the need to address the health challenges that come with a life of public service. His passing is not just a loss for his family, friends, and political allies, but for the entire nation. It is a poignant reminder of the sacrifices that public figures make, often without recognition or acknowledgement, in order to serve their country. Grijalva's death raises important questions about how we, as a society, value the health and well-being of those who dedicate their lives to public service. In his case, the sacrifices Grijalva made in his personal life were for the greater good. But it is crucial to remember that no one, no matter how dedicated or passionate, can continue to give of themselves indefinitely without facing consequences. It is a lesson that those who follow in his footsteps must take to heart. The work of a public servant is important, but so too is taking care of oneself in order to continue that work. Despite the challenges he faced in his later years, Grijalva's contributions to American politics and society remain profound. His efforts to create a more just and equitable world will continue to inspire future generations of leaders. And while his passing marks the end of an era, his legacy will live on through the policies he championed, the lives he touched, and the lessons he imparted. Grijalva's life is a testament to the power of perseverance, the importance of fighting for what is right, and the need to balance one's commitment to others with self-care. His passing at the age of 77 is a heartbreaking loss, but it also serves as a reminder of the incredible impact one person can have on their community and their country. The struggles he faced in his later years are a poignant reminder of the price that many public servants pay for their commitment to the greater good. As we remember him, we honor not only his remarkable legacy, but also the lessons we can learn from the challenges he faced. As we say goodbye to Rep. Raul M. Grijalva, let us remember not only the politician and public servant, but the man behind the title. A man who cared deeply about his community, who fought tirelessly for justice, and who made a lasting impact on American politics. May we honor his memory by continuing his work, pushing for justice, and ensuring that the causes he cared about remain a central part of our national conversation. Rest in peace, Rep. Grijalva. Your legacy will live on, and your contributions will never be forgotten.